places. Little morning spot. Getting my soda. Makasih. Yes, perfect. This has kind of become my little morning routine and morning kind of ritual. One thing, first of all, if you guys are here, just want to say hello. Good morning. Thank you guys so much who are participating and just your comments, your messages. It's really awesome, as I said, waking up in the morning and reading you guys' comments, especially like this to what I'm saying now in these episodes, which means so much more to me. It's a pleasure hearing from you guys. And today, well, first of all, let's talk about the little rituals, because I feel like this might help a lot of you guys out in different places, especially if you guys don't have the ability to travel or do anything. So I haven't been traveling for about 8 months, haven't really went anywhere. But at the same time, I still had that need to see things different, to move around, to do stuff like this. So I realized I have to find some kind of way to have that need fulfilled. So the way that I do that is I always kind of change up the places I go. And a very simple way to do that is take a different route every day when you're going somewhere. It may sound very simple, like, well, what do you mean? Like, we don't do it a lot. If you think about it, what you do every day, I guarantee you go to the same grocery store a lot. You probably go to the same 3 or 4 restaurants when you go out. You order your food from the same 4 or 5 places. So it's kind of normal. I do it too a lot of times, but when I realize it, oh my gosh, I just went and got my food without thinking about it, I change up my everything. I change up the route that I'm walking on. I change up the time that I go places. You know, one little simple hack you guys can use is when you go to your gym. Let's say you go to your favorite gym to work out. If you just change the time that you go to work out, you'll see a completely different group of people, because people tend to work out the same at the same time. And oh yeah, I should probably use my straw. And by the way, I know this is not good, the straw, but this is like really dirty. But yeah. But now I've got the small talk out the way. Now time for a more difficult conversation that I have been trying to make a video. I think I filmed this video about 2 or 3 times in the past, and I just didn't feel like releasing it. I wasn't at an emotional level to where I could talk about it. And that's not the same case anymore. But the question I'm asked all the time is, Luke, why did you stop playing pro basketball? If you guys don't know, I played pro. I was a pro for the last 12 years, and it's just been about the last year and a half that I've kind of left. And you know, I just decided, and at the time when I stopped, I was at the peak of my career, peak of everything, and I kind of walked away. And people were like, were you hurt? No, I wasn't hurt. I was injured all the time in basketball. It's just normal. Injury meaning you don't feel 100% when you wake up in the morning, but that just comes with age. And I never was really serious injury playing. I never missed a game as a pro in 12 seasons. And I was feeling fine. Everything on paper was great. Residency for France, house, car, new contracts always coming in. At the end of the seasons, I got to a point where I could choose who I want to go to. I could say no to people, which is always a good thing in life when you're at a point when you're turning things down. And, you know, so people were asking, why did I stop? And I guess I could make 5 parts of this video, but the easiest way was that I wanted more. I felt as if I could accomplish more. Like, not even more, but I felt as if I wanted to help more people. For me, if I'm not helping people, then I'm not feeling happy. I'm not feeling fulfilled. The reason why I run programs and I'm having programs come out now, because I want to work with people. About 5 or 6 days ago, I did a seminar. I did a 2-day seminar with a university, a medical university. And, you know, during that time period, I spoke for about 8 hours. And that made me feel so energized from doing something like that, because I realized that that's what I want to do. I love having an impact on people and in a live sense so that I can feel it. And that's something that's really important for me. And I think that at the same time, when I was playing basketball, I was able to do it, but it was only the fans that I had, only the people in the certain area that I was in. But when I say that, I mean that, you know, as a pro athlete, you know, first of all, we're a little bit limited. I didn't have the free time to go and travel. And I realized to get the world's attention, especially in the world we live in, I realized that I had to be out there in the world. I realized that the whole reason this whole YouTube thing started for me was because of Poland, going to Poland and having people from Poland watch it. So then in my mindset was like, well, I need to go to all these places. I need to have boots on the ground in these countries so that I can get their attention. And I feel fueled when I'm meeting people from new cultures and new backgrounds, new religions, new whatever they have. I love meeting people like this. So I was like, I need to be out there. And I realized to have that reach that I wanted at that time with the information that I knew, it meant that I couldn't really play basketball and have an impact worldwide. And I know it's possible, but I couldn't do it on the level that I wanted it on. So for me, it was just like, I felt like there was more. And I know there's so many of you all like this, and it's frustrating for the people who actually love their jobs and they love their life, because then people don't understand when you kind of want to take a break and go a different route. So for me, it was a very tough decision to do because, you know, no one really understood it. You know, the one person who understood it was the only person in the world I thought who wouldn't understand it, and that's my agent, because my agent gets a good portion of my salary, and that's how he makes his money, by me getting good contracts. So, you know, and the odd thing was, he was like one of the few people in this world who understood. And, you know, I think that I say all that to say that there's a lot of you out there who want more. There's a lot of you out there who maybe your life looks great on paper. My life looked amazing on paper. Like being a pro athlete, having all the attention, going out every night, being able to free entrance to clubs, like they clap when you go into the restaurant, like everything you can think of. And it's true. And people ask, like, did you not like it? Was it fun? And it was fun. And you know, being here in 2020, I was going to go back to being a pro athlete. I was going to go back to basketball. I was supposed to start training back in June in Poland. But with everything that happened in 2020, I wasn't able to do that. And I really, honestly, since it's been that time, I've really embraced the challenge. You know, I feel like so many people, we feel like we're not ready for something. Like, I feel like maybe you want to achieve something, but you feel like you're fragile. You feel like you can't do it. You feel like you can fail. And that's what makes you a hero. That's what makes you brave. And this is what I had to tell myself when I left the first time. I was like, Luke, are you really going to try to travel for a year? Like, what's going to happen if people don't donate and contribute to your channel? What happens if people don't buy your programs? What happens if the AdSense and everything goes away? How are you going to still be able to do it? And I was like, it's that uncertainty and fragileness that makes a true hero. If I knew I could do it 100%, where's the courage in that? Where's the bravery in that? At the end of every vlog, you guys know I say, work hard, be brave, and don't forget to smile. And it's a true thing. It's something that I had to apply to be able to do what I do, to go out. And it is a scary thing. And there is so much unknown. There's so much uncertainty. You know, even before everything happened in 2020 and 2019, because I'm used to going back to play, and my body has a routine. My mind has a routine. I've been kind of doing the same thing 12 years. And to not have that certainty, for example, of a salary, of an income, of being around friends, of having a place to live. You know, as soon as I left my place in France, I was like, oh my goodness, I don't have a place. I'm wherever I'm booked at. My next booking is where I'm going to be living at. If I don't book anything, I don't have a place to sleep. And, you know, that was something that was kind of like a challenge. And I really realized that, you know, that's what makes it worthwhile. That's what gives you courage. That's what gives you courage. That's what makes you a hero. You know, that makes you brave. If you're not risking anything at all, then what's so brave about it? If you have $100,000 saved up and you're going to come and live in Bali for a year, for me, it's like, where's the courage in that? Where's the bravery in that? You know, the bravery, as you guys, if you guys do come to Bali in Indonesia, or I hope you guys do, is that you realize that a lot of people came out here and they hit rock bottom. They either came out here at rock bottom because they hit rock bottom in their country, or they came out here living on just the bare minimum. You know, I'm gonna have a video coming up here talking about a lot of things that I've been going through and have went through, and to bring more clarity on that coming up in a future episode. But, you know, I just wanted to say, it's not about necessarily me being a pro athlete, but it's about understanding what looks good on paper maybe isn't what fulfills you the most. You know, having a wife, kids, like money in the bank, like savings, and a beautiful home, beautiful car, like all that stuff can be great. But if you don't feel, I think Tony Robbins says it's the best, is if you don't feel like you're making progress, then you're not going to feel fulfilled. And at the end of the day, I was so much like looking at what I was doing as successful in the eyes of everyone else, because you're living a less than 1% life, so that must be a success. But at the end of the day, I felt like for my needs, my need to contribute, my need to help out, my need to make sure that my people are being taken care of, to make sure that I'm inspiring people with the life that I have, to make sure that I'm leaving a legacy, all this stuff was fulfilled, but only at a certain point on as a pro athlete. And why I have so much love for Poland, why I wrote the book on Poland, why I talk about Poland so much, is because that's what awakened it in me. Just like I can remember, I was just a very average college player, and I remember me and my girlfriend broke up at the time. We broke up, and I still was average player, never scored more than 10 points, never had more than 7 rebounds, and me and my girlfriend broke up. And I was like, you know, we broke up, and, you know, I had a game we were playing on the road that day, and I remember we went away, and I was like, oh, it's gonna be another game. I'm just gonna play hard on the court and do the best that I can. And I wasn't even a starter at this time. And, you know, the crazy thing is, as the game was about to start, and I was like, I'm gonna take this anger, this frustration out on the court, I remember having all this nervousness, and I can remember very clearly, I was sitting on the bench, and I was like, well, let's go, let's play this game, and just kind of distract myself. And my teammate tapped me. He said, Luke, isn't that, and pointed across. My girlfriend, who I just broke up with, was on the front row. Don't know how they got front row tickets. They were at the front row of my game to come watch me. And it was that emotional bond, because it's our emotional bonds that create the longest lasting change when you can't stand it anymore. And for me, it was just like seeing her, and you can imagine the emotional bond is like, I'm gonna be the best person, I'm gonna get the attention. And that was the game. I think I had 25 points, 15 rebounds, triple of all my other averages. And when I did that, it opened up something in my mind. And maybe this has happened to you, where you're like, wait, I did that? Could I have done that the whole time? And more importantly, can I do that all the time? And that was the wake-up call for me. That was the wake-up call in my basketball career. And my wake-up call in my YouTube career was having my first video have over, I think, 10,000 views. I think I had about 5,000 views in Poland, the Warsaw video. Now it's at over 500,000 views, but at the time, 5,000 views was just like, oh my goodness, I was lucky to get 100 views a video. And that's what awakened that beast within, to see that's the impact you can have. And I hope that through my stories, through these episodes, through my life, if you guys don't know, there's a podcast, there's hundreds of episodes in the podcast talking about things like this, where it just awakens something and lets you realize what you're capable of. Because I see this a lot when I'm helping people and I'm working with people. If you guys don't know, to work one-on-one with me, there's an application below. But I see this so much, is that people just aren't aware of what they're capable of. They dim it down on other things. If you guys watched my Instagram today, there's a video coming out. Actually, it'll be out in a couple days. But I was talking about the states. There's only 2 states. There's the emotional states, of course, but the states that you're in and the states where you want to be. And that's like your roadmap for life. It's your roadmap to everything. And if you don't have one of these components, if you don't know one of these, or worse than that, you're lying about one of these, then it doesn't make sense. You know, and to explain this, and it's weird because I just filmed this video today on my Instagram, I'll walk around and I'll kind of show you as soon as I finish my finish this drink. Every day.
Yeah.
Okay. Makasih ya. Sampai jumpa lagi. And the people. Yes, you too. The people of Bali are so nice. If you guys are on the walk, make sure you come to this place, support them, and get a beautiful view. But what I was gonna come to you guys with, and just so I know people are going to be like, Luke, where's your mask? This is like a ridge walk kind of area, nature. But I was just talking about the states, you know, the 2 states that you're in, where you are and where you want to be. And I've explained this before. I explained this to people that I work with, and I explained this to people who just reach out to me, because it's something that people aren't aware of. But to know where you want to be, where you want to go, what you want to accomplish, like, this is like the map for your whole entire life. So we can look at, I'll show you here. This is Bali, by the way. Very classic wooden chairs. Hello. Well, almost nice people all the time. But, you know, the thing that happens to me, and what people come to me about, is, I guess you guys see me here and you're like, Luke, he looks like a happy person. I need to ask him, Luke, what I got to do to be happy? And I get that question a lot. You know, what do I have to do? How do I stay smiling? What do I have to do? Well, it's like, okay, that's what you want to do. You want to smile? Or people are like, one of the bigger questions that I get, and I'm having a video come out about this, and it'll be totally free masterclass for you guys, is people are like, you know, I want to be a digital nomad. You know, people are like, I want to work online. And I'm like, okay, you want to do that? What do you want to do? And they're like, well, I want to make people happy. This is what I want to do. I just want to make people happy. And I'm like, well, okay, you want to make people happy? To make people happy, one thing you could work at, I think you can work at an ice cream parlor. I mean, you'd make people happy. If that's what you want to accomplish, you can easily do that. Work at an ice cream place, get an ice cream truck. That'll make people happy. You could walk around and give out ice cream to people. Walk around and give $1 to every single person you see. That makes people happy. You know, it's like, no, I want to work online and make people happy. Lots of people. So it's like, okay, well, send a good quote and run an ad for it. That can make people happy, but they're not being specific. It's like, I want to do something that I love, that helps people, that makes money. That's very specific. And what happens is when you have that clarity brings a very clear, razor sharp focus, like what was in yesterday's message. Oh, hello, Maggie. And you know, so what happens is people are like, I want to have this, but I'm like, well, how are you feeling right now? Like, you want to be happy, but how are you feeling now? And you're like, oh, I'm okay. But there's no clarity there. It's like I'm saying, like, if I have a map and you want to be happy, happy is where you want to be, but you don't know where you are, then how can you expect to change? Or vice versa, people are like, I'm sad. I'm like, well, how do you want to feel? Not sad. What does that mean? What does that mean? Like, please, like, I don't know what that means. I can't imagine that. And one little exercise that I do with people, and I'll do it with you here, totally free. I want you to, all you guys watching this video right now, I want you to relax for a second. Relax. Okay, now I want you to imagine a car. You're in a car right now, and that car stopped, okay? The car stopped, and the car's going a little bit. Well, it's stopping, but it's kind of going. The car stopped, but it's kind of going. It's stopped, but it's kind of moving slow, but it's kind of stopped, like completely stopped. But it's kind of moving just a little bit, like, but stopped. And can you, like, everyone would have had a different thought in their mind right now, but it just shows you how your mind can't really focus on two things at once. So when I ask you what was the car doing, in your mind it probably was just rolling really slow, like almost like sputtering, and your mind doesn't know what to focus on. Are we going or are we stopping? Are we going to be happy or are we going to be sad? So what happens is we're not in that, when we don't know what state we're in, and or we lie, worse, we lie to ourselves. Like, I'm like, how are you feeling? I'm all right. That's a lie. So you're basically lying about where you are. You're calling for directions, like, hey, I need to get to McDonald's. I don't need McDonald's anymore, but this is just a very interesting suggestion. It's like, hey, I'm in McDonald's and I want to get to your house. But if I don't know where you are, if you're lying about being in McDonald's, then the directions that I'm going to give you aren't going to work. You understand? So where you are matters. If I give you a map, if I'm here right now trying to make it back to the center of Ubud here in Bali, but if you give me a map and tell me where the center of Ubud is, but I don't know where I am, that map is useless to me. It's useless. And vice versa. If I know where I am, but I don't know where the center of Ubud is, then the map is useless to me. So it's so true with the states that we're in. Where you are, how you're feeling, and where you want to be and how you want to feel. But being honest with yourself. Like lately for me, I felt like a little bit of anxiety from time to time. I felt a lot of worry. I felt a lot of uncertainty. This is real feelings that I felt. So now that I know that how I feel, I can start to do something about it to get to my destination of feeling abundant, feeling happy, feeling fulfilled, because I'm being honest with myself. And I think the thing is, we get so used to just lying to ourselves because we have to lie to other people because we don't want to be a burden to them. And for me, that's how it was, is being an athlete, pro athlete. Like, I can't complain about, you know, this is just frustrating. But my friend, oh, you're a pro athlete. You're living overseas. You're living the dream life. You're living your dream. So it's like, so what do you do to counter that? You just don't say anything. You're like, I'm fine. Yeah, it's okay, cool. But deep down, you're sad. You're disappointed. You realize you can do more. And then on top of that, you compound the emotion. Where if you guys don't know what compounding emotion is, it means you lock it in place. So an example of compounding emotion is that you feel sad right now, and because you feel sad, it makes you feel disappointed in yourself. That locks it in place. Because now you're disappointed that you feel sad, and then from there you feel like you shouldn't feel this way. Then you feel unworthy. Then you feel like you're unloved. Then you feel like you're not enough, and it's just a spiral that locks you into place, and it's hard to change that way. So back to what I was saying is the reason why I left for playing basketball was because I realized that there was more. And I finally was like honest with myself about it. Selamat pagi. Apa kabar? And I was honest with myself about it. And when I became honest with myself about how I was feeling and that I realized I could do more and I wanted to do more and I could do more, that's when I was like, I'm gonna do more and I'm gonna change. But until we can be honest with ourselves, and I know this is kind of off course of why I left being a pro athlete, but when you realize that you can do more and you desire to do more and you can be honest with yourself and you're like, the place that I'm in, I realize that I could be in a better place. Then, hello. Good morning. when you start to be honest with yourself, and you can do that, which is what it was for me in basketball, that's when the change can happen. Because now you're honest with yourself. Luke, you're a pro athlete, but you know when you're traveling, you're super happy. You know when you're meeting people, you enjoy it. And you know that when you're making videos, you love doing that. And I love the attention that I got from making YouTube videos. All of you who have ever come up to me here in Bali, anywhere I've been in the world, and said hello, and I always encourage you guys to do that. Oh, you walk fast, you go. Yeah. If I walk fast, I might fall, you know? People are always so nice here. And I realized, like, well, that's when I'm more happy. And so the question, if I have to leave a question for you guys, I know this is a long episode, so thank you guys who are here still. It would be, what are you happiest when you're doing? When you feel the happiest, what are you doing? What is it? Like, what is the thing that makes you feel the happiest, that you could do all the time, that you love doing? And then it's like, well, now you have a destination. And where are you at right now? Think about where you are in your life, what you're doing right now. And when you put these two together, it really can give you a good, clear roadmap. Realizing for me, I love traveling, I love this. I'm like, well, what can I do? And I was like, it requires stepping away from something that I love to do something that I love even more. And that's okay. We feel like, no, it's like what you hate to what you love. Yeah, but what you love can become something even greater and better. So I just wanted to leave that with you guys. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my kind of ridge walk back. You guys can see this is literally, we are in the jungle. But I want to thank you guys for being here. I want to thank you guys so much for your support. All of you guys who are reaching out to me. There is gear available in the, I don't know what it's called, LukeLifeCharms store. It's available for you guys. And you guys, I would love your contributions. We are feeding people. We haven't fed that many people this week or last week. I'm starting to be back on it this week. So if you'd like to contribute, if you're a YouTube member, you already are doing that. If you're a patron, you're already doing that. But I want to let you guys know that is open for you guys if you guys would like to participate. And anything else I have to say, special program will be coming out in about a week. So I'm really excited to share that with you guys as well. If you guys want, that will be the entry level into my world, to work in a one-on-one, not a one-on-one, it'll be a group setting, but live. So you'll be able to ask me questions, I'm available, and it'll be over a 2-week period. So I'm really excited. More on that later, but I want to thank you guys for being here. Have an amazing day. I thank you guys so much. I just express gratitude, and that's my new thing to do. I love it. You'll feel better, I guarantee you. But on that note, I'm enjoying the rest of the walk. Thank you for being here. Have a great day. And everyone always remember to work hard, be brave, and don't forget to smile. Ciao.